Have you ever wondered how AI works or what's under the hood, so to speak? Hi, I'm Dave. This is Old Dad Studio, and today we're going to get into some basics about how AI works. And my channel is all about learning AI, and really it's the path that I am on learning AI, and I'm sharing it with all of you in hopes that you can learn and we can all gain some knowledge together. Now, if you can't tell, my voice is still a little bit hoarse. If you've been following the vlog along, you know that I'm been under the weather lately, and I still am. I will try not to cough in your ears, since if I hack up a lung while I'm doing this, we will edit that part out. In today's vlog, what I thought we would do was start at the very, very basics of what makes up AI. We're not going to get into any kind of logic around what it's thinking or how it thinks, anything like that. Just really the main high level infrastructure. What is it, and what are the pieces that make up AI? My goal for this is at the end that we all just have a basic understanding of what AI is and what the flow of information is as we are interacting with AI. I also hope that I can continue on in series like this, and we'll get more in depth as we go along. This is just the very first basic 101, what is AI? Now, the first layer that makes up AI is the infrastructure. If you're not familiar with the term infrastructure, this is the hardware that makes up AI. This is the servers that are running in data centers. When you hear news stories about companies like NVIDIA and how they're supplying the chipset that is powering AI, that's part of the infrastructure. That's part of the hardware that's making up AI. It allows it to run. It's hardware that's beefy enough, fast enough, has enough memory in order to make everything run. That's just the servers in the data center. And they're just servers until you actually add something to them. So next comes the AI developers, and they're going to start developing their code. As with all applications, the code base of what you're trying to do is where you start. And the developers will develop the code for the AI with all of the properties and parameters that they want to use for that particular application. When I ask Perplexity, which is another AI tool, it's used for research and used for searching the web, kind of an advanced web search, how many companies were developing AI? The response was around 70,000. So there's 70,000 different companies out there right now that are developing some kind of code set for their AI. Now, examples of different code sets would be things like Midjourney. If you've heard of Midjourney before, Midjourney is an AI that specializes around creating images. That's what that AI does. So the code set that the developers have created for that particular AI tool it's all around creating images. Where if you were to go to something like Perplexity, which is another AI, that code set is all around researching and finding data. It's like an advanced web search engine. And then you have ChatGPT, or AI tools like ChatGPT, which are more of a generalist. So if you ask ChatGPT a question about Java code or to create an image, it can do both of those things. It has now been trained enough where it can do both of those things. It may not do it as well as a specialized model, though. If you look at an AI tool that was written specifically to help Java developers write Java code, it's probably going to give you a better answer than ChatGPT at this point in time. The next piece that makes up what is AI is the data. So every single AI has to be loaded with data in order for it to learn. So once you have the code developed, you want to load it with as much data as you can so it can then learn. And the more data you have, the better off your AI will be, the more variety it will be able to consume and make predictions based on all of that data that it has.
Yeah, I'm going to break into my edit because there's a section here that for some reason my iPhone lost focus on my face and it focused on my chair. I don't know why. Crazy things happen. I'm going to continue on with the video. Please bear with a little bit of fuzziness there, but we'll make it through.
Having that large variety of data is very important to a model. And there's a couple of examples recently of some videos that I made where we were pointing out the fact that AI tools have limited ability when the data that was entered into them wasn't robust enough. One example is that most AI image generators cannot draw an analog clock except for a time of 10:10. And here's a video where we go into that more in depth, but that's an example. They were trained on an image of 10:10 for analog clocks, and there was not a lot of variety there. And analog clocks are tough, and all an AI is doing is making a prediction. If it doesn't have enough data to make a prediction, then it can't do anything outside the bounds of what it's been trained on. And that is also true of the wine glass. So there's another video here where we did where most AI image generators, not all of them, but most of them show a wine glass half full. And that's all they can draw. They cannot draw anything but a wine glass half full. And again, that's because that's what they were trained on when that data set was brought in to train the AI. Now, you put your code set and you put your data together, and that's what your current model then becomes of AI. And that's the current model that we all interact with. As an example, as I'm recording this video, ChatGPT, the current model is 4.5. That's the one that most of us are using. There are several other models that you can interact with as well, but that's the most current. And the model or version 5.0 is coming out later on this year. Now, all of this put together, what the ultimate goal is for the AI to be able to make the best prediction that it can. So the large learning language models that we have today, what they are doing, they are not thinking like a human thinks. They are not reasoning like a human reasons. They are making predictions on what the next word or next letter is going to be. And that's how they operate. So their logic and how they're coming up with answers and conversations with you is completely different than how our human brains work. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is the AI application. Many folks interact with AI through a web browser, but there are other applications. If you're a Mac user, you can download the ChatGPT application that runs locally on your Mac and interact that way. So whatever that application is that you're using, that's the next layer or the next piece of the pie. From there, enter in the users. What we are doing when we interact with ChatGPT or any other AI model is we're basically making a query. And that query goes through the AI's application. It interacts with the current model. And based on all of the data and its programming that it has, it brings back a prediction for us. And that's the response that comes all the way back out to us.
Hey, I'm also going to re-record the ending of the vlog for today because that fuzziness is driving me crazy. Today is April 5th, 2025. This was vlog number 95. Now, if you want that diagram that I drew during the video here, it's actually available in my community section for download. Go ahead, download it, use it at will. Anybody can have it and use it, and I'm happy to share. Hopefully you learned something new that you didn't know before, and we all continue to learn this AI thing together. All right, that's going to do it for today, and we will see you tomorrow.